Hi guys. So just giving an update from the US Department of Education. This is regarding the SAVE plan for anyone who's on student loan debt. So as of January 15, 2025, there's been an update because as some of you may already know, the courts went through with the decision SAVE and that has impacted a lot of people. It's still, if I'm not mistaken, some ongoing. Currently, the Department of Education is still prohibited from using the same formula to calculate any monthly payments uh, at the moment. Now, under the general forbearance, what's happening is that you do not have to make any monthly payments on your student loans. Uh, Interest is not occurring, and time spent does not provide credit toward public service loan forgiveness, aka PSLF, or IDR, another payment plan. That's an income-driven repayment plan. So keep that in mind. Once you're under this forbearance, you still cannot make any uh, credit towards your student loan debt. Unfortunately, uh, services are expected to complete the necessary technical updates to be ready to begin no other than September 2025, and they're expecting people to make payments on the student loan by December 2025 for people who are under this forbearance who apply for SAVE last year. So by December 2025, expect that you're gonna have to make payments. Of course, there's a bill going on in Congress right now. They're trying to pass that could change the whole concept of PSLF and forgiveness of student loan debt. So keep that in mind as they're going with a recent bill. We don't know if it's gonna pass. Hopefully, it will not. Trump will probably sign it because he would love to make people pay as much as possible towards their student loan, and that's mainly especially from Republicans. But we will see if it's gonna pass that recent bill. This is just an update regarding what people can do under Save right now. Let me scroll down for any more information, and just keep in mind that Save, ICR, PAYE, that's all from the Department of Education. IBR is really a Congress bill, so we have to keep that in mind. These things can technically be changed by the current administration. So if you scroll down, so services have resumed processing borrower's application to enroll in IBR, ICR, PAYE. So now you guys are eligible to try to go back to one of these repayment programs. Just to give you a heads up, ideal plans created by Congress, 2007 was IBR, 2010 was IBR. So just an update here for the IBR specifically from Congress. PAYE, ICR, which my wife is on the ICR currently, and SAVE, formerly Repay, that's on the Department of Education. These three in particular can be dramatically impacted by whoever is the current administration of the White House. So whoever is the executive branch, meaning whoever is the current president and the cabinet, they can make dramatic changes on these three, especially if they succeed on eliminating the Department of Education. That'll be hard because in general that's going to require a national bill be passed through Congress and then signed by Trump. So it's not going to be easy to just get rid of the United States Department of Education. But what they can do is cut funding for the from the Department of Education. That's what they can do: reduce staff, not hiring, get rid of people, make sure they lack so much fund they can barely do anything, and that's a problem. Under Obama and Biden, they fixed a lot of the PSLF situation. That even though it was a Republican bill that was passed, it was not executed properly. Obama and Biden fixed it up and made it much better, where people can actually be forgiven. On the particular bill that is being discussed in Congress right now, forgiveness may or may not happen. They're even trying to go after people who went to those fake scam schools and not forgive their loans from those completely fake degrees they obtain. So keep that in mind that they're working really hard to screw the working class and middle class in the US. Congress is really working fast on that. This is why when you go out and vote, review what people are gonna do. Trust what they will say. Trump said what he's gonna do, and he's been pretty honest for a while. He tried to get rid of TikTok back in 2020 through through the executive order, uh, and then Biden came in and got rid of it. But then Congress passed a bill pretty quickly to ban TikTok. Biden immediately signed it, and then your Supreme Court, all nine of them, also agreed to it. So it's pretty obviously that when you check a lot of the investments, they invest heavily in Meta, aka Facebook, and all the businesses. No, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, that's all Meta stuff. Threads, which is basically Twitter version of Facebook, etc. So they invest heavily on that and all the American companies. So we know a big reason why they're doing it is because corporations are telling them to do so. And unless US has another bill in their buy off TikTok, that's going to be banned. But anyway, it's just an example of that is just to show that Congress and the president, and let's not forget your Supreme Court, can all work together to make things better or worse for working class and middle class people. It's an unfortunate situation. But here you can get more information about all these type of repayment plans. You can review yourself. I'm scrolling down so you guys can take a pause on the video to look at it. Scrolling more information here for more information if you want to know how the department processing idea of forgiveness. If they have technically Kamala and Biden, they already forgive another few more $1 billion of student loan debt. A lot of these people already could have been eligible years ago. It just was not properly executed until Obama and Biden came in and fixed some things. But let's not forget that Biden did support the bill that made it impossible for people to basically file for bankruptcy for this student loan. So do not forget that Biden contributed to all this issue, similar to how he's contributing to the ban of TikTok. So as much as Biden can do it one day, oh, I'm not going to enforce it. When you cite these things into law, or you were part of Congress at one point and you pass bills that obviously screw over working class, middle class people, you're just a hypocrite. I mean, know what you're doing. You're changing slightly your mind so you can get votes, but that's not enough. This is the problem with corporate and established Democrats. Uh, for the most part, all we barely have is a few social democrats, such as Bernie Sanders, AOC, but not really much of an actual full throttle socialist who actually are in Congress, because socialists are not really, unfortunately, that present in our current Congress. They don't have much power or voice right now. They can, but people need to educate themselves and not just keep voting for someone because they have a D next to the name or the letter R next to the name, and that's how they vote. Do research. I understand right now it's very hard to just have a social party win, but you can definitely vote for better version of Democrats. But you don't have to vote for another Biden or another Kamala or not Pelosi. You can do a better job. Bare minimum, can at least vote for social Democrats so we can have at least better regulations for the wealthy, so they pay more for their fair share of taxes, and then these situations with PSLF and so on forgives don't disappear or get damaged to the point that they basically don't exist anymore for anyone to be able to actually use. They sure have money to provide tax breaks to the rich, but they hate providing any benefits for working class, middle class people. Keep that in mind. Republicans, they since the 60s, they have been horrific. They Democrats are bad, but Republicans at a whole other level. As someone who lives in a Democratic controlled state, I can guarantee you that things that we have here that red states can only dream of, that Republicans in Congress are trying to remove and make it hard to happen in this blue slash Democratic controlled states. Nothing's perfect, but when you look at red states where they completely don't want to get federal funding to fix issues in their own state while the people are suffering, they don't want to make sure that people's rights are protected. They keep going after the most disadvantaged groups, such as the LGBTQ plus community, the working class, women, uh, people of color, etc. You realize who's a common enemy. Again, but you have to do research. That's why it matters when it comes to election. If you have any election coming up this year in your state, local and state level, read what people do, pay attention to what they're trying to pass, and actually educate yourself. Once it comes to about 2 years from now, so when people can vote for the next people to be in Congress, research who you're voting. Make sure you vote during the primary because that's usually the best time you can choose someone better. Unless because once you don't vote in the primary, you get stuck with established politicians in the general election. This happens all the freaking time. So do research, educate yourself. Don't be ignorant because that will impact you badly, especially people you care about. So let me just go back to screen a little bit longer. There's something you can pause in the video and look into for yourself. And that's basically it for information update. It's not too much of an update. There's something I will put this link as I always do in my description. So you guys can always go back and review it more thoroughly and carefully. That's going to be in there. If you guys have any ideas of any additional updates, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know how you feel about this update in the comment section below. If you're watching this in TikTok, you can always comment in the video in the TikTok video I'll post there. This is gonna be obviously posted first in YouTube, then I'll post it in TikTok. But again, comment away, let me know how you feel about this and any new updates you may have that I don't have yet. But anything related to PSLF and the Department of Education. All right, guys, stay safe and have a good night.